Hi guys, it's Katie. I'm going to do some food prep. I made my meal plan. You probably saw this if you watched my last grocery haul. I will link that down below if you want to see that. But from my meal plan, I made my to-do list. So today I'm going to make tortillas for burritos. I'm going to cook up some bacon so that we have it to use as a pizza topping. I'm going to make granola and yogurt for my little one to have for breakfast. I want to make hamburger buns and hot dog buns. I have that recipe on my channel that kind of goes into more detail, so I'll probably just do that quickly. I have cornbread here. This was because I thought I was going to get this done yesterday. We actually made the cornbread and ate it last night, so I don't need to do that. And then I'm going to make pizza dough and pizza sauce. I have a pizza sauce recipe on my channel, which goes into more detail about that. Okay, so I guess I'll just start at the top of the list and we'll make some tortillas. I will put the recipe down below if I can find a link, or I'll just type it out. I have a sourdough tortilla recipe on my channel, and I tend to not make that recipe. It's a delicious recipe, but it's just an extra step, and I just don't do it that often. I don't make tortillas because they're already kind of a pain, so we'll just stick with this regular recipe that uses baking powder. When it comes to making bread, I enjoy the process of making bread, all different kinds of bread, but for tortillas, I really only make these from scratch because the ingredients in store-bought tortillas is just ridiculous. I mean, my recipe calls for flour, baking powder, salt, olive oil, and water, and the recipes, or the store-bought tortillas, are just full of all sorts of crazy things, like 20 ingredients, and so that's the reason why I make homemade tortillas. So I tend to just take shortcuts and just use this simple recipe. I tend to make the tortilla dough at least one day ahead, because rolling it out is kind of the part that I don't like, and if you have fresh dough, it will spring back a lot, and you'll just have to roll it out, and roll it out, and roll it out. So by making it ahead, you get that benefit of it being rested so it doesn't spring back so much, and it also does soak the flour a little bit, so while these aren't sourdough, they do have some of the benefits of soaked flour. And doing it ahead of time, any bread recipe, if you mix it up ahead of time and just keep it in the refrigerator for an extra day or so, it will improve the flavor. So but when I make this dough ahead like this, I just mix it up. It doesn't even need to be kneaded that much, because the long rest in the refrigerator until I knead this will do the same thing as kneading it, help make it really elastic and smooth. And then I just roll them out, usually the morning of, because it does kind of frustrate me to roll them out and cook them. So I don't like to do it right at dinner time, because usually, you have other things going on as well. But I'll do it the morning of, or maybe the night before, even if I think I'm going to have a busy day. But having the dough made up ahead of time makes it a little bit more simple. So I'm not really kneading this dough, I'm just incorporating all the dry flour. And then I will package this up. There's no yeast in this, and the baking powder shouldn't activate until it's applied to heat, so I don't need to worry about it rising up. I'll just put this in a plastic container and go ahead and put it in the refrigerator. Alright, so since I have all my baking stuff out, I'll just go ahead and make the rolls and the pizza dough and everything else. I got a question about this big prep ball. I love this thing. It works so well for so many things, and it's old. It's older than me. It's probably from the 60s or 70s. It used to belong to my grandmother, and before that she got it from when a high school closed down. It was used in their industrial kitchen. But I did find one similar on Amazon, and I'll link it down below. So I'll do the hamburger buns, and like I said, I have a whole recipe video on this, and it shows it step by step, including like shaping and tips for how to raise them and things like that. So I'll just kind of speed this footage up. Okay, so there are my hamburger and hot dog buns. I have them just on a plate so that they stay flat, and they're inside this bag, so I will freeze them like this, and then the morning that or the day that I want to have them, I'll bake them that afternoon. So you pull them out, put them right on the cookie sheet, and then let them thaw and rise at room temperature or a little bit warmer, and then bake them as usual. Alright, the last bread item is pizza dough. Alright, so there is the pizza dough. I'm going to need this in Wednesday, Thursday, 3 days. So I'm not going to freeze it. I will just keep it in the refrigerator. But since it does have yeast and it will grow, I'll put it in a nice big container. It can slowly rise in the refrigerator. Okay, up next I'm going to make some granola. I'm going to try a new recipe. I want to make pumpkin granola. I got these pumpkin seeds at Costco, and I really want to put them in a granola, and I thought that would be a lot of fun. So I found a recipe on minimalistbaker.com. I'll link the recipe down below so you can see it. I'm going to double it. I don't have pumpkin pie spice, so I'm going to eyeball some spices here. Cinnamon, ginger, allspice, and nutmeg. Okay, so in here I have coconut oil, maple syrup, and pumpkin puree. This looks really good. I'm really excited about this. It smells good. I think the only thing I'm going to change from the recipe is I'm going to put some flaxseed in because I like to get that in wherever I can. So I'll just probably put a couple tablespoons in. That's what it looks like. It looks really good. I love those green seeds. Very pretty, and it smells amazing. So I'm sure once it bakes, it'll be even better. I might have to split this into 2 portions since I doubled the recipe. Alright, so the rest of this pumpkin I'm gonna put in a container and just put in the freezer because I am pretty sure that I'm gonna make this recipe again. It smells so good. So I'll put this in the freezer, and next time I make this recipe I'll have what I need because I used about a half a can. So now I have enough to make it again. Okay, what else do we have on here? I'm not going to cut up that melon because I don't need it for a few days, and A, it'll be safer on the counter, and B, I don't have room in my refrigerator. So I need to make bacon. I got the oven in use, and the pan that I use for bacon is in use, so to do that another time. Should have planned that out better. I think the last thing I can do right now is pizza sauce. So when I make this recipe, it makes 2 to 3 portions depending on how big of the pizza you're making. But it uses one of these full 6-ounce cans of tomato paste, so I just go ahead and make it. And then I portion it out and I put it in the freezer since we have pizza pretty regularly. Olive oil, garlic, okay, and I have some oregano from the garden, so I'll just bring this to a simmer. And then I'll pull that oregano out once it's done.
Yummy granola I just made with my yogurt.
Oh my gosh, it smells so good. Alright, so the pizza sauce is all done. I just brought it up to a simmer and then I pulled it off the heat. I'm going to let it just sit here and steep a little bit since I have these big oregano stems. I'm just going to let that flavor sort of get into the sauce, and then I'll remove those big stems and divide this up, put it into plastic containers, and pop it in the freezer so it's ready when we need it. The granola has got just a few more minutes, so I'll pull that out and let it cool off, and then I will package it up and it will be ready to go. There's a few things I didn't get to on the list. I didn't make the bacon and I didn't make the yogurt, but I think you've seen how I make both of those things in previous food preps. But yeah, I'm gonna have to finish up for this afternoon. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye!